Stupidest Things on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. This is Jim McKay speaking to you from Whitesboro Street in Utica, New York, where today we're going to see the kind of color and excitement that you only find in small-town America. That's the band from Sherburne Central School that you're watching right now, complete with color guard, of course, as they march down Whitesboro Street preparatory to the beginning of the New York State Firemen's Tournament. You've heard about the visiting firemen? Well, that's what we're literally going to see today, not figuratively. Firemen from all over the state of New York who have gathered for their annual tournament. What does that consist of? Well, it consists of fire engines racing down the street, specially built fire engines, at speeds up to 60 and 70 miles an hour, firemen jumping off them, climbing ladders, participating in bucket brigades, and in general having a wonderful time. Right now we're going to begin with the first event of the day, the motor hook and ladder. These specially built fire trucks, they're little things, actually weigh about 6,000 pounds. We're going to start 475 feet from the arc right here. When they get to the 450-foot mark, their front wheels will automatically grip the electric eye and the time he begins. They then come down here very fast, stop somewhere around here. They don't stop, but the men leap off while the thing is going still about 25 miles an hour, put up the ladder, and one man has to get to the top. It's that simple, but it's pretty complicated, too. We're ready to go.
First team we're going to see comes from Albertson, New York. They call themselves the Slowpokes, but you can be sure they hope they don't live up to their nickname. Ready to go. Hit those brakes. And there he goes. There's our unofficial clock. Unofficially, 11:04. Here comes the official time, 11.25 seconds. Very fast for the Albertson Slowpokes. Now here is Massapequa, New York. They call themselves the Indians because once upon a time, logically enough, the Massapequa Indians lived on that spot. The spot where the town is now. Team captain is Bill Bryson, who is driving the truck right now. Yes, it's Bill. Big Bill. Here we go. Notice how the man goes up that ladder before it even touches the ground. 11.1 unofficially. Let's get the official now. 11. A little slower than that, 11.53, not as fast as Albertson. So Albertson's still the team to beat here. Here now we have the Wantagh Knuckleheads. Wild nicknames all these fellas give their team. They practice long hours for a month or two before this competition every year. Stuck there, so we can get that this time. Oh, little trouble. Uh-oh, look out. Ooh, and one of the boys, I think that's Mike DeCepoli, is down. He hit that ground pretty hard. Mike is at least stunned momentarily. Well, now he seems to be okay. He's conscious.
I'm standing right now with Bill Bryson, who is the captain of the Massapequa Long Island Indians. We're standing just to the side of their Class C rig. This is kind of the ultimate in the kind of vehicles that are used here, right, Bill?
That's correct. They go for the smallest type of truck and the lightest weight for this particular contest.
Why don't you give us an idea of what this is all about? It started out, as I understand, as a 32 Ford.
Originally it was a 32. The chassis still is a 32. The front end has been modified, larger brakes, racing-type tires, a slick tire, they call it. Oldsmobile rear end, hydromatic transmission. Engine-wise, it has a 61 Cadillac in it, supercharged. Basically, maximum acceleration is what we're striving for here.
So this little thing here is not at all what it appears to be, huh?
But not at all. It's what they'll call a sleeper.
Right. Let's take a look inside the cab here a little bit. At least the seats. These are aluminum bucket seats, right? Specially built.
Basically, we keep aluminum here to keep it as light as possible, and a minimum amount of weight. There is no interior at all, so it's been completely gutted. Full set of gauges on the dashboard. All the complements of safety are in here. Fire extinguisher, handbrake, all are required by the rules of the association.
How about the transmission?
Transmission is a hydromatic 4-speed, built for racing only.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the rear end of the rig right now. By the way, the acceleration, it'll go from 0 to 60, 70 miles an hour in how many seconds?
Approximately, well, we don't go by the seconds, we go by the distance here. They accelerate 475 feet, and in that 475 feet, they'll reach a maximum of between 65 and 75 miles an hour.
And right now, we're leaning at the back end where the fellows will be hanging on as they roar down this course. Huh?
That's correct. This rear handle is what they use to hold them onto the truck, and then the ladder rack here is where they place the ladder.
Okay, that's the story then with Bill Bryson.
While we're talking, Mike Sepoli got on his feet. They took him away in the ambulance, however, just as a precautionary measure. Now, here we have the North Belmore Rinky-Dinks. And what an assortment of professions you find on these teams. It's a student, a banker, a baker, a bricklayer, a plumber, a mechanic, a surveyor, a salesman, and a photographer, all on this one squad from North Belmore, New York. I can dig this ladder right into the asphalt. Bang! It's got to be solidly placed. This looks like a good run. 11.1 unofficially. All of them right in around the same area. Let's see what the official time is. North Belmore has taken the lead. Official time 11.16, putting them ahead of Albertson, which earlier won a different division of the motor hook and ladder. Well, we'll be back at Utica, New York in just a minute. Now we have the team from Oyster Bay, New York, at the New York State Firemen's Competition in Utica. They call themselves the Rough Riders, the defending state champions in the overall competition. The Rough Riders, obviously, because President Teddy Roosevelt, the leader of the Rough Riders, made his home in Oyster Bay. That's about ready to go. Timing, of course, of the essence here. Bad luck, bad news for Oyster Bay, the defending champions here. The timing off just that extra half second as they try to get off that truck and dig the ladder in. All four of them went sprawling. And although that lad hit his head, looks like he's going to be able to get up.
He's all right.
Tough break for Oyster Bay.
He's all right.
Here now we have the Wolves. The Wolves from Islip, Long Island, state champions in 1947, 1959, and 1961. The track is all clear. The other ladder and the personnel have been removed from the asphalt. So the Wolves can go anytime. 5 men on each team here, remember, a driver. And 2 diggers. They're the fellows who dig the ladder into the ground. A thrower who throws the ladder up, and the climber, who you'll notice once again is airborne before the ladder is actually dug in. Looks like he had a good run. That one slip will make the difference. Islip gets an official time, very close to what we have there, 12.52. That's not going to put them in the top 3. And so we move along to another team. These are the Wildcats from St. James, state champions back in 1957. Truck, by the way, was built for them by Bill Bryson, whom we were talking to just a few minutes ago. Captain of this team is Bill Brenner. There he is with the baseball cap on backwards. Team to beat is still North Belmore with a time of 11.16 seconds, so watch the clock. Beautiful run by St. James. 10.8 unofficially. Here comes the official time, 10.83. The new leaders, then, are the St. James Wildcats. Here are the fellows from Elmont. They call them the Bangtails. The reason for that, the Belmont Park racetrack, now under reconstruction, is located in their town. Off they go. The time to beat, 10.83. trouble there. Good time, but it's not going to be good enough. The official time coming in is 11.98, so Elmont didn't do it. And here are the final standings in the motor hook and ladder division. St. James the winner with a point of 10.83. Second place goes to the North Elmore Rinky Dinks, and third place to the Albertson Slowpokes.
Let's have a word now with Bill Brennan, who is the captain of the St. James Long Island Wildcats, winner of that Class C ladder event. Congratulations to you and all the guys on the team, Bill.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Now, let's see, you're the guy hanging on the back on the right side to push the ladder up. Is that right?
Correct, right.
Is there any most important thing for you to remember or for you to do on that job?
No, every man on the team has to do his job for it to perform properly.
Well, what specifically do you have to think about in your job? You know, from the time the thing starts to you push that ladder.
Well, when Mike gives the signal, we get off and up it goes.
And just give it a good push and hope for the best.
That's right.
Well, again, congratulations.
We have the other men on the team are real good, too, so it makes it a lot easier.
Well, that was pretty obvious because you guys were the winners and well-deserved. Thanks again, Bill.
Thank you.
The next event coming up is called Motor Pump, and here's the way it works. The engine starts from 225 feet from the target. At 175 feet, the timing device is automatically put into action by the front wheels of the truck passing through the electric eye. At 150 feet, the truck stops. Some of the crew gets off, connects their equipment up to the hydrant. The rest of them run with the hose, no closer than 50 feet to the target. They must then hit the dead center of the target to stop the timing device with the stream of water. That's the way it works, and here we go.
First team, the Seabreeze New York Indians. We'll see how this event goes on this first squad. Now, the truck doesn't go very far. You notice that the truck is a lot larger. Of course, it has to contain a motor pump in there. But the running of the man is the thing that's important. And getting that hydrant turned on. 7.5 seconds unofficially. Their official time, 7.57. Very good time for the Seabreeze Indians. Here's a team with one of the more colorful names, the Point Bee Pickers. A farmer named Judge Bike gave them that name way back in 1935. Again, the assortment of professions, a surveyor, a truck driver, a highway worker, a beautician, and the inevitable cigar. Once again, you'll see that the speed of the truck is not the vital thing here at all. It's getting the hose connected up to the hydrant, getting the water to the pump, and then out through the hose at tremendous pressure. Look at that. They couldn't hold it. 4 men out here, all trying to lie down on it. They had to turn it off and start it again. They do get an official time. The official time for Point Pleasant, 13.57. Now we move along to the Syosset Night Raiders. Remember, the time to beat is 7.5 on the clock. Making sure everything is ready. Big fall coming up on Wide World of Sports, by the way. We'll try to tell you when we have a moment. Ski jumping and skiing will be starting soon, for example. Winter's almost here. Here they come. You see what they were doing is actually racing the water as it goes through the hose to try to get lying on the hose before the water comes out, and their time looks good. There you see the unofficial time. The official time, 6.95. The new leaders are the Syosset Night Raiders. Central Islip, the hobos, they call themselves. Coming up now, trying to beat that 6.95 time of Syosset. Motor pump division of the New York State Firemen's Competition. Now, the water is going through there, through the pump, out to the hose. You can almost see it billowing the hose coming out the end. 8.3 unofficially. And the official time, 8.25 for the hobos.
Time for Central Islip.
And so the competition moves along. More to come in this motor pump event yet, and we'll be back for that in just a minute at Utica, New York. We're back again at the New York State Firemen's Competition in Utica, and it has begun to rain a little bit. The skies have been threatening all day, and now they're opening somewhat. This is the Islip Wolves coming down, still in the motor pump event. Men racing that water to the nozzle, and they just about made it. There's their unofficial time. The official time coming up, 7.28. At It's not quite as good as Syosset, who are the leaders. Only one squad now remaining who has a chance to catch Syosset, and that is Oyster Bay.
7.28.
A little bit later, remember, we'll be returning to Huntington Beach, California for more of the National Surfing Championships. Very unusual afternoon today on Wide World of Sport. Here are the Rough Riders from Oyster Bay. They had bad luck in the first event, you'll remember, where one of their men fell. Was unconscious for a few moments, but he's all right now is the word. These are the defending overall champions. They've won it 6 times since this competition started, more than any other town. Oh, now it's really coming down. Well, if there's anything these fellas don't notice, it's more water. And there's the target gets it. 7.5 unofficially, and that is very close as the official time comes up. 7.51 for Oyster Bay. That's the final team, so here are the standings as they end up in the motor pump division. Winners, Syosset, 6.95 seconds. Second place goes to Islip, and third place to the team you just saw, these fellows here, the Rough Riders from Oyster Bay. Oh, I hope this isn't going to keep up.
The event coming up right now is called Motor Hose. It's a little bit more complicated than some of the other events they have here. So let's take a look at the course that it will be run over, and we can explain it to you.
This is actually the longest of all the events contested here. The truck starts exactly 450 feet from the target. It then must accelerate and brake within 225 feet, because at that point, it drops off 2 of its men at the hydrant. They connect up the hose, and then again, the truck must accelerate and brake within another 150 feet and drop off the other 2 men who work the nozzle.
So, that's the way this one works. The first truck is on the line right now, so here we go.
It's the Wildcats of St. James. Remember, we saw them win the motor hook and ladder division just a little while ago here. 8 champions in 1957. The Wildcats, St. James, Suffolk County, New York. And here is the vehicle with the powerful engine. It must accelerate and brake, as we said, within 225 feet. It drops off the 2 men, remember, who connect up the hose to the hydrant. Then the truck accelerates again, brakes again within 150 feet, and drops off the other 2 men. Now, at that point, from the time it leaves the men at the hydrant till it drops the other 2 men, the truck is literally racing the water as it courses through the hose. Okay, now there go the first 2 men. They're connecting it up, and now the water is already going through the hose as these fellas have to get down here, disconnect this length of hose, and get the nozzle on, and just make it, you see? That, as a matter of fact, was not even a particularly championship run. The time, 17.54 seconds, well off the record. That, however, is the run for St. James. Coming up next is West Carthage, one of the teams from upstate New York. Lots of events coming up on Wide World of Sports later on this winter. The National 100 Dirt Track Automobile Championship from Sacramento. The International Ski Flying Championships from Mittendorf, Austria. International Surfing Championships from Makaha Beach, Hawaii. Alpine skiing from Oberjach, Germany. As usual, this winter, ABC's Wide World of Sports will be ranging the world, trying to find the top events for you. West Carthage, ready to go. Now the first braking. Okay, connected up, and the water has started through the hose. Disconnect, put on the nozzle, and they just made it. Just made it before that water came through, and if the water comes through before you get the nozzle on, there is no chance, just too much pressure. We'll be back in just a minute at the New York State Firemen's Competition. Again, we're back at Utica, New York, where the team to beat so far in the motor hose division of the New York State Firemen's Competition is St. James. Remember, they had a time of 17.54. On the line now, the Central Islip Long Island Hobos. They were the state champions in 1963, and earlier in this competition won the efficiency. Hey, they're moving. 2 men off. And right now the water is going through the hose. Here's the critical moment. They got it. Look at that time, 15.3 unofficially. Here comes the official time. It's even a little better than that. 15.24, the time for Central Islip, and that makes them the new leaders. Excellent time, too. Well, there's all kinds of equipment. Some of it formalized, some of it made up by the fellows themselves. This team is Fort Washington Rangers. You get an idea of the amount of work that goes in on these trucks, right down to the paint job. Rain has stopped again, but still looks kind of threatening. Whoops, get it a little bit. That much can cost you in this competition. They're going all right, though. 15.5 unofficially. Let's see if that holds up. Official time for Port Washington, 16.02. Not quite as good as it looks. That, however, puts them in second place at the moment behind Central Islip. And here is the Hagerman Gamblers. A very well-drilled team. As a matter of fact, they won the three-man ladder and the bucket brigade. So they're definite challengers here. And here comes the rain again. Makes it a little more difficult with the slick tires. So far, so good. So they stopped a little bit short, perhaps. Right at the last 2 minutes, you got the target all right. 16.7 unofficially, and that is just about it. 16.71 for Hagerman. It's not going to put them among the top leaders. I want to be sure to thank a couple of people here, specifically our technical advisor, Al Rio, also Bill Bryson, whom we spoke to earlier and who has been a great deal of help to us, and, of course, the crew from ABC New York doing their usual excellent job of this pickup here this afternoon. The North Belmore Rinky-Dinks. Pretty good. 15.5 unofficially. That's going to be awfully close to the lead. North Belmore. Here comes the official time. 15.57. They missed by 23 hundredths of a second, taking the lead. Now the Greenhorns of Glenwood Landing. A plaid beret over the guys. Oh, he really hit those brakes, didn't he? A little too late, however. You saw the man had to run back to the light. Troubles all over the place here. And you see it costing them those valuable seconds. Unofficially, 20.84 is the official time, and we'll be back in Utica, New York in just a minute. Again, we're back at Utica, New York, and the Islip Wolves are going to make their bid in the motor hose event here. They could do it because earlier they actually won a slightly different version of this same event. The team to beat, though, at the moment is Central Islip with their time of 15.4. So watch the clock and see if Islip can beat it. Here's the rivalry between the two Islips. They had the nozzle on, but the water was a little late coming through. 16.8 unofficially. The official time, 16.76. Not good enough. Just one squad now remains in this competition. New York State Firemen's Competition drawing to its close here in Utica. This is Howie Reeves, who is the captain of Sayville, this final team, and he's actually the president of the State Team Captains Association. Also been very helpful to us while we've been here. Here we go. The last truck of the day. This is Howie connecting it up. Water is flowing through the hose. Disconnecting, get that nozzle on, and you could make it. But the fact that they took two tries, so to speak, to hit that target may have cost them. Official time 16.63. So here's the official order of finish in the motor hose. The winner, Central Islip. Second, North Belmore. Third, Fort Washington.
Right over here we have John Still, who is the captain of the Central Islip Hobos, winner of that Class C motor hose event. Congratulations to you, John.
Thank you.
Okay. Your boys sure did a good job out there.
It was a lot of hard work to get them to work that.
Boy, I'll bet it was. How often do you guys practice?
3 nights a week.
3 nights a week for what? A couple of hours at a time?
About 2.5 hours a night.
And what does the practice consist of?
Well,
Doing this over and over?
Yes, it's of every event that you've seen here today.
Is there anything that your team does differently than most of the others do in that event? In the motor hose?
No, not especially.
It's all a pretty standardized procedure, huh?
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen, again, congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
That's John Still.
And now here come the final overall standings. The winners and this year's state champions are the Islip Wolves. Second place goes to the St. James Wildcats. Third to the Central Islip Hobos. Hagerman was fourth and North Belmore fifth. Now we're going to go back to the National Surfing Championship.